Peace and blessings. Namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is I, Sophie, today, and Retro. I know you saw the title. Did it catch your attention? It should, because we're in the age of the fire-breathing dragons. This is going to be a little bit heavy. I'm going to try to make it light for you. And some information I am going to keep from you, because they are for the initiates only. And you will know if you are drawn to this type of teaching, but not all are drawn to it. After all, many are called, chosen are few. Okay? So let's dive right into it. Medieval timepieces always talked about the fear of the fire-breathing dragon. Townspeople would run and hide as the dragon would swoop through and breathe out fire and consume everything in its path. It was dreaded. It was feared. Interesting enough, in the Eastern cultures, the dragons was revered, honored for their knowledge and their wisdom. Pay attention. What you're seeing was two factions that had been fighting against each other over the governance of this earth since its foundation. Humanity got caught in the crossfire. They were innocent. What if I told you that you need to revisit these stories and look at them from a different perspective? What if I told you that the fire-breathing dragons could be looked at as the purifying fire that comes through on a spiritual level, not a physical level? Pay attention to me. In the series The Game of Thrones, there was a dragon mother. She was building her queendom. And when she was correcting a situation, she walked into the fire as another one was burning and screaming. She walked into that fire. And the townspeople thought surely that was the end. And they all laid down. And after the dust settled, after the fire burnt out and the ashes rolled in the smoke roll, you saw her naked, holding 3 dragons. And she became the mother of the dragon, but she could not become that until she first went through the purifying fire. Many of us who are called go through that purifying fire. If you decide to answer the call, that is. Remember, many are called, chosen are few. And there are those that are going to fear the dragon because they don't understand it. This dragon mother raised 3 dragons on her own to help protect the queendom. And she was considered the breaker of chains. She stood for freedom. She did. And that's one word against her enemies or the enemies of the people, Drakari. They would blow out the breath and consume everything around them. She had a specific role to play with these dragons, and these dragons obeyed their mother until they felt betrayed. Some of them had to be locked. 2 of them got locked up. The 3rd went rogue. But it was something very important that she said. Dragons are not slaves. Well, if the dragons stand for freedom, then who stood for slavery? See, we are here. I am here to turn things that was upside down, right side up, and give you clarity of vision and understanding. Humanity was not supposed to get caught in this crossfire. And in this day and age, we aren't supposed to be fighting amongst the factions. No. When the principle of understanding reaches the collective, we're supposed to balance out this equation. So be careful what you're saying, please, if you don't understand it. Pointing a finger at one faction against the other when the faction that you're pointing to actually carries the purifying fire of the spirit is asinine. Think on this level. If the dragons that speak the truth is the purifying fire, then surely that's what the two witnesses at the end time are going to have. Remember what it was said. Remember what was written. The two witnesses in the end time will consume their enemies by fire coming forth from their mouth. Make no mistakes, these two are dragons. You've been taught to fear it and demonize it. I get it. Years and years of programming. We don't fault you for it. We do fault you if you choose to remain ignorant in this manner, especially when we are called to a higher level of understanding and we must teach humanity these things. Some of us are called to balance out this equation. No more wars. Do you understand? But there are some who want war. They want war because they lack understanding. They want war because they're influenced by something a little bit negative. And they don't understand it because they don't process the information that is given to them correctly. The mother of the dragons, the brownish red one, was the most fierce out of all of them. He snapped at her at one point, and he flew off on his own. Remember, dragons are not slaves. Pay attention to what your movies are showing you and watch it with your third eye. He went off on his own, rogue. But when it was time to defend the kingdom, the queendom, when it was time to defend the people, he showed up again. And they fought with the mother. All things aren't what they seem. If you are resonating with my channel, there's a possibility that you're part of this clan and don't even know it. If you're not part of this clan, then you're understanding the dragon clan is part of your evolution because you are called to balance out this equation as well. We're not called to war against clans against clan, no. We're called to purify all, even if it means our own clans. Even in the Game of Thrones, you had bad dragons too. You're going to have light and dark in everything. Divine Feminines, if you're called to be a dragon rider, are you ready to mount up with me? If you haven't figured out your role in this world, Divine Feminines, your power, if you haven't awakened to that yet, just look at all the symbolism around you. For those of you who identify with tarot readings, the Strength card is the woman taming the lion. Beauty and the Beast, the woman tames the beast. Game of Thrones, the woman raises and tames the dragons. They answer to her. Do you see? And even the distorted feminine has a role. She's sitting on the beast. The distorted feminine rides the beast system. Pay attention. The divine feminine, we ride the dragons. They are not one and the same. If the dragon energy was so negative, why are the two witnesses using it at the end times? And why is the sword of truth forged from its mouth and flamed? Because this fire that is going across in the 3D realm, some of you have escaped this. You're not going to witness this. But listen, some of these dragons that are going over states and countries, purging, it's in its duality as well. Okay? The double-edged sword and the dragon flame. One purifies energy, and at the same time, it can destroy it. And it depends on the decisions that you make in this life, right? Those who choose to want to bring destruction consistently on the people, on the earth, with divisive tactics, with hate, with malice. When the dragon flames blow, that darkness is destroyed. And for those who came to enlighten, to heal, to love, to serve, when the dragon flames flow, you will be purified, walking into your calling, knowing who you are and what you have to do and what you came here to do. But the flame comes from the same dragon. Do you understand me? To the initiates, you are called to balance out this equation, to stop the wars on this planet between these two warring factions. How you're going to do this? Only you know. It's between you and the divine. I know what my role is. I have accepted my charge. My question to you, dragon and dragon riders, will you mount up and ride with me? Will you stand in truth? Will you heal and purify with your flames? And for those of you who are carrying swords that has the same flaming fire that did not consume the burning bush. Understand what the fire really is. Understand the symbolism, behind these things. Start seeing things from your third eye. This purging that is going on right now is to get you to stand up in your truth, protecting humanity, protecting your brothers and sisters, and operating in that love. The love energy does purify because it purges what is harmful to you out of your way. It may be uncomfortable to you. You're not used to it. But you will appreciate it once you are fully activated. Woman, thou art loosed. Ride your dragons and stand for that which is good. Protect your brothers and sisters. Protect the people. And elevate to a higher level of understanding so that you are no longer seeing in black and white. Humanity fears things that they don't understand. The purifying dragons are not here to cause harm to humanity at all, but they were taught to fear it. And the only time you understand it is when you're dealing with Kundalini energy, but you don't see it from the higher vantage point of what the dragon actually is and how long it's been. These two witnesses that are going to show up, that are here actually, they will have the ability to destroy their enemies with the spirit of truth. And only in that manner can they be killed. Why? Because we're not violent. You're not called to violence. You're called to peace, but you're called to purify. So the enemies, the darkness, the nature is destroyed with the purity of the truth and the flame of truth, whether it is on a sword or coming from the breath, the mouth, the ruach. And once you understand this, now you understand that it can't be evil. It is simply designed to do what it is designed to do. This dragon energy is unleashed. They have been unlocked, unchained. And some of them are walking amongst you. Can you recognize your family? Do you even know if you're part of the family? Stop listening to everyone that wants to be seen. Go within, do your research, and understand these things. After all, we are called to balance. That purging fire that's coming from the dragon is spiritual. And it is going throughout the cities, the towns, the states, the counties. Some are falling while others are rising. You don't need to fear it. Stop being afraid and understand that we have a job to do. And we're going to do that job until the assignment is over. I am Sophie. I love you all.